Hello, give me a second here to get this loaded up. So my name is Keith Adamkiewicz, and today I'm going to be talking about pollution and how humans are destroying our Earth. So a little overview here. I'm going to be focusing on three main topics, which are water pollution, air pollution, and land pollution. But as you can see with points 6 through 10, I'm going to be mainly focusing on land pollution. So let's get started with water pollution. 6.5 million tons of litter are found in water or are put into waterways each year, and sorry, okay. Half of the litter in the ocean is plastic, which takes hundreds of years to degrade. And this is bad because it affects all of sea life. One of the big example right now is there's a big controversy with plastic straws and sea turtles. So basically, the plastic straws are getting stuck in sea turtles' nostrils, and I think that there is a lot of viral pictures and videos going around on social media, which spread awareness on this topic. But plastic is detrimental to all sea life, not just sea turtles, and it's a big subject that we have to spread awareness about and look into, or not look into, but focus on. Water pollution from litter causes dead zones as well, which basically a bunch of litter gets concentrated into one area, and then it brings the oxygen levels down very low to where it is not sustainable for marine life, which causes a dead zone. And then also 70% of the litter is found on the sea base, which a lot of people might have seen pictures of, like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, or even just beaches that are spread with litter and plastic and all that. And but the sad part is most of the litter is actually found under the sea, not under the sea, but on the sea base. So it's a big issue. There's a lot of litter going into the ocean. Some of the impacts of water pollution are the global cost is $16 billion per year, which personally I think it's kind of unfair to look at that statistic because us humans are at fault for destroying the earth for everybody, not just, I mean, money is a human thing. And of course, we have to look at it from a standpoint. But I think that the big picture here, rather than looking at money, that is uh, con of water pollution is that we're really destroying the whole earth. And additionally, 100,000 marine mammals and turtles die each year, and 50 to 100,000 humans die each year from infected shellfish. Air pollution is basically a mix of natural and man-made substances in the air, and there's a difference indoor versus outdoor pollution. That's indoor pollution is a lot more uh, dangerous and harmful for humans because basically it's a lot more concentrated because outside the air can move around, but if you're inside and say you have a gas leak in your home or something, that's going to be a lot more serious rather than if you have a gas leak outside because you don't have any fresh air circulating. So indoor pollution can kill a lot of people or give them very bad side effects. And then renewable energy, that's we're starting to go towards, like Tesla, we're starting to go towards electric cars, and that's great for bringing down the use of fossil fuels and all putting all the chemicals into the air from burning fossil fuels. So some of the impacts are respiratory, cardiovascular disease, pregnancy complications, and even death. And of course, that's all human uh, impacts that we're looking at, but animals, they're suffering just as much as humans, if not worse. Definitely, probably worse. So that's a big thing to look at too. So now we're going to start talking about land pollution. I'm going to have a separate slide for deforestation, soil erosion, agriculture, industrialization, and mining. When it comes to deforestation, 1.5 acres are cut down per second in the world, which I think that's a pretty sad statistic. I mean, the more that we cut down, even though you can say that we can regrow our forests, it can take hundreds of years. And the more we cut down and the more we use the land, the less likely that we'll even be able to grow the forests back. So that's no good. And about 700 pounds of paper are used just in the U.S. alone per person per year, which that's insane. That's what leads to a lot of deforestation is the need for paper. So if we can bring that down, I think that that would help the pollute or deforestation a lot. And additionally, 20% of the oxygen is produced in the Amazon, which about half of the Amazon is already cut down from humans. So we need to put a stop to that as well. Soil erosion and deforestation go hand in hand with the excavation of forests and cutting them down. That leads to lots of soil erosion, and the erosion also goes into the waterways, which can clog waterways, as you can see. And then also overgrazing is a big problem, which is where basically farmers have animals. The animals eat the plants uh, too much to where there's not enough recovery time for the land. Therefore, the land suffers and cannot regrow as fast as it needs to. Agriculture, fertilizers they release nitrogen as fertilizers as well as animal manure. Both release a lot of nitrogen and phosphorus, which is very bad for the environment, and it can also cause dead zones as well. Industrialization. Uh, Once the industrial revolution hit, we started putting a lot more pollution into the air, mainly by burning fossil fuels. Um, Lead, for an example, it can have a we don't use lead as much anymore now that we know how bad it is, but it could be very harmful to children and even cause them to die. And then coal, the burning of coal is very bad. It releases a lot of toxic gases such as mercury and sulfuric acid. Then mining is very bad. It causes surface pollution and groundwater pollution, such as acid drainage. And basically, what acid drainage is a lot of the metals, such as copper and iron, they flow into streams, which gets into all the groundwater, and that pollutes it, which is very bad for the environment. And yeah, so here's my sources. And yeah, so basically overall, we really need to make a change and quit polluting the world as fast or at the rate that we are right now. Otherwise, soon we won't be able to inhabit the Earth. So a lot of people are looking into. Well, it's sad that there's scientists looking into how we can move to a different planet and live on a different planet. But I think that we should really try to focus on saving this one, and we need to start now. Because at this rate, we will not be able to sustain the Earth for much longer. So yeah, that's my TED Talk. Thank you for listening.